Tony Ferguson's story is one of the most dramatic rises and falls in UFC history. For years, El Cucuy was the boogeyman of the lightweight division. A fighter with unorthodox striking, relentless pace, and vicious submissions. He was unpredictable, violent, and seemingly unstoppable. After winning The Ultimate Fighter in 2011, Ferguson slowly built momentum. By 2013, he was on a tear, stacking wins with his wild pressure and creativity. From 2013 to 2019, Tony went on a legendary 12-fight winning streak, one of the longest in lightweight history. He beat names like Edson Barboza, Rafael dos Anjos, Anthony Pettis, and Donald Cerrone. No matter how much damage he took, he always found a way to break his opponents. Fans called him the scariest fighter at 155. The fight the world wanted was Tony Ferguson versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. It was booked not once, not twice, but 5 times, and every single time it fell apart. Injuries, weight cuts, and freak accidents robbed MMA fans of what could have been one of the greatest fights in lightweight history. Dana White even said, "That fight's cursed. I don't ever want to book it again." By 2020, Ferguson finally had his chance to claim undisputed gold. With Khabib unable to fight due to travel restrictions during the pandemic, Tony was matched against Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight title at UFC 249. What followed was the beginning of the end. For 5 brutal rounds, Gaethje dismantled Ferguson with crushing punches. Tony, as always, refused to quit. He absorbed shot after shot, staggering but never falling. Finally, in the 5th round, referee Herb Dean had to step in. It was Tony's first loss in 8 years. He had taken hundreds of unanswered strikes. Commentator Daniel Cormier said afterward, "That was a beatdown like I've never seen." That night changed Tony Ferguson. He returned later in 2020 to fight Charles Oliveira, the future champion. For 3 rounds, Oliveira dominated him on the ground. At one point, Tony's arm was locked in a deep armbar. Most fighters would have tapped. Tony refused, letting his arm hyperextend, grimacing but never quitting. It was another lopsided defeat. In 2021, he fought Beneil Dariush. Again, Ferguson was controlled for 3 rounds, nearly caught in another deep leg lock. He didn't tap, but he didn't win a single round. The slide continued. In 2022, Tony faced Michael Chandler. For 1 round, it looked like vintage Ferguson, sharp, creative, even knocking Chandler down. But early in the 2nd round, Chandler landed a front kick straight to Tony's chin. Ferguson went stiff, face first into the canvas. It was one of the most brutal knockouts in UFC history. After that, Tony lost again to Nate Diaz, Bobby Green, and Paddy Pimblett. From 2020 to 2023, Ferguson went from a 12-fight win streak to a 6-fight losing streak. A fall as fast and devastating as any in MMA. The reasons for Tony's downfall are debated. Some blame the years of damage he absorbed. Others say the Gaethje fight took something out of him that never came back. And some point to his age. By the time he was finally given a title shot, he was already past his prime. What cannot be denied is Tony's toughness and heart. He refused to tap against Oliveira and Dariush. He fought until the last possible moment against Gaethje. Even in defeat, fans still respect him as one of the most durable and entertaining fighters ever. Tony Ferguson's downfall is a cautionary tale of wasted timing, cursed matchups, and the unforgiving nature of the fight game. He was the man who should have fought Khabib. He was the man who terrified a division. And then, in just a few years, he became a shadow of that legend. But in the eyes of his fans, Tony Ferguson will always be El Cucuy, the nightmare of the lightweight division, the fighter who never quit, no matter how much punishment he took.